Princess Witch woke up the next morning after using a powerful magic spell to return the time continuum back to normal. And night was night and day was day. And she finally got a good night's rest. And she awoke to Princess Witch of the West knocking on her door, telling her that breakfast was ready. So she flew down with Atlas and went to the breakfast table. Again, they had breakfast with the King and Queen Witch of the West, and they talked all about her adventure of restoring time. Princess said, "Yes, but remember that it is only temporary. My magic will not hold. I'm not sure how long. The Pegasus Knight is there to help my magic, but he is also not that strong. In order to keep the time continuum flowing, we must return the crystals that I had used to gain so much power back to where they rightly belong." Princess Witch of the West said, "But how will you return home? You crashed your ship." "Well, there was a sea monster that got me, but we will have to build another ship." So the King and Queen Witch of the West said, "Oh yes, that's a great idea. I'm going to get my workers going right away." And the Queen Witch said, "Oh yes, it was just great having you, but you have to run off and get to your parents. And you'll have to restore the crystals back to their normal spot." Princess Witch thought at that moment that she still had that potion that her parents had given her, and it had been a long time since she had spoken to them. So she excused herself from the breakfast table, and she went upstairs and used the magic potion, and there was her mom and dad, the King and Queen Witch of the East, her parents. "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. It's been forever. I've been on such an adventure. I'll have to tell you all about it." So the King Witch said, "Oh, honey, it's nice to see you." And Queen Witch said, "Oh, yes, everything's just been dandy here. We miss you so much." King Witch said, "What's been going on? Where have you been? When are you coming home?" Princess Witch said, "I'm not sure. I went across the sea, and I found the other witch kingdom." "Yes, yes, honey, you told us this before. But what's been keeping you? Where is that key that you've been looking for?" Princess Witch said, "I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of time to look for the key. Some strange things have been happening. There was a giant fire-breathing dragon that I helped defeat. And there was giant wave crashes that the mermaids helped me control, and a tsunami that almost wiped out the castle. Everything was all wet. But the funny thing is, I found a book in the basement in the archives of this castle, and it told me that in order to restore balance to the world, the one who took the crystals must return them." "Oh, yes. You know, I've heard this story before." And Queen Witch said, "Oh, yes, honey. We should have warned you this could have happened. You have to make sure that the balance of the world is okay to take the crystals. We thought you knew that already." And Princess Witch said, "Don't you think that was an important thing that you should have let us know about? Oh my goodness. Now the whole world's going crazy out there. And there's also a giant viney monster I had to make sure didn't rip down the walls of the castle. And then night was day and day was night. I had to fly up to the Cloud City again and talk to the Pegasus Knight and return the giant clock hands back to normal. And I only have so much power, so hopefully it'll hold for a while." And King said, "Oh, I haven't noticed any problems here. I don't know about this, Princess. You should just return home." And Princess Witch said, "That's what I'm trying to tell you, Dad. I need to get home so I can restore the crystals back to the normal spot." And Queen Witch said, Oh, honey, don't get all flustered. I'm sure you'll figure it out." "Mom, Dad, I don't think you understand how intense this all has been. So, I'm going to have to let you go. We're building a new ship. I hope I can make it home soon. Well, make sure you use the port at our castle this time. You don't have to go all the way down to Lake Town. That was just silly. What does your map and compass even say now? So she pulled out her map and compass and really didn't show anything. But she was out where she was supposed to be. She was on the X, and the X marks the spot. She's not sure. She said, I'm not really sure what's going on, but the map and compass are telling me I'm where the key is, but there's no key. I'm just at the witch's castle, and all these crazy things are happening. I need to make this boat. I gotta let you guys go. It's nice seeing you. Goodbye. So they said goodbye, and they said, we hope to see you soon, daughter. And Queen Witch said, yes, we miss you. Come home soon. Click. Well, she thought, at least they're doing well. So she ran back downstairs, and by the time she got back down there, the King Witch of the West had already started making the ship for her to get home. And she went out to the sea, where a whole crew of carpenter wizards or witches were all working on a boat. It was going together pretty quickly, and so it was almost ready. But then, all of a sudden, up in the hills in the distance, there were lightning bolts and crashes of thunder, and there seemed like there was a storm coming, but there weren't any clouds in the sky, really. And then they saw one man walking towards them, and he got closer and closer, and the King Witch said, oh no, not him. Why did he come down from his mountain? I thought he was stuck there forever. And Princess Witch of the West said, what are you talking about, Dad? And our Princess Witch of the East, didn't know what they were talking about. And Queen Witch said, hurry, girls, we all need to get inside. So everybody ran into the castle. And the man had a long pointy hat, and he had a long piece of stick, like a staff, that had a crystal on the top of it. And the crystal was changing colors at all times. And he said, I am the wizard of the western world. Who dares to make a boat in front of me? And the King Witch, who was at the top of the castle, said, we are trying to help our friend. You leave us alone, Mr. Wizard. The wizard was an evil wizard, Queen Witch said. He comes from time to time, and we have to stop him. Yes, well, there's been lots of strange happenings here, said Mr. Wizard, and I don't like it at all, and I think it's all your guys' fault. There was a dragon flying by my house the other day, and large waves, and some giant plant was trying to knock on my door. I had to use a bunch of magic. I don't like using all my magic. Now, I'm going to use my magic on you guys and stop all this madness. Ah! So Mr. Wizard said, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to send a giant explosion and blow up your boat. Princess Witch said, no, that's my boat. Who are you? I've never seen you before. You look kind of like the King and Queen Witch's daughter, but you're different too. And she said, I'm Princess Witch of the East. Of the East? You came from across the sea? How daring, yet stupid. You're not, oh, I'm not supposed to say stupid. How not smart. And now, you're never getting back. I'm going to destroy your boat. So he sent a large firebolt at the boat. He blew up all their hard work. No, how could you? So Princess Witch ran down the stairs. King and Queen Witch of the West tried to stop her, but she was so angry. She took all her gold sword, her silver shield, her bronze hook, and her wand, and her broom, and she ran down there, and she said, I'm going to fight you now. That was a mean thing to do. And Mr. Wizard just laughed. Ha 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 ha. And what do you think you can do? I am the strongest wizard in all the lands. Look at my multicolored crystal. It is on the top of my staff. It gives me all the power I ever need. Like this. Just as he said it, the crystal stopped changing colors, and it landed on the bronze color. I specifically hold power in the bronze, silver, and gold crystals. I see that you have obtained them, for you otherwise would not have the bronze hook, and the silver shield, and the gold sword. So let's see if you can defeat my magic. All of a sudden, a bronze manticore appeared. It had the head of a lion and the face of a man, but it also had a tail of a scorpion. It was ferocious. Princess Witch said, "It's going to take everything I got to defeat a bronze manticore." And the wizard laughed. "Ha ha ha ha, I won't even fight you directly. You can take on my bronze manticore. He is my pet. Good luck." And the wizard walked away. He said, "Ha ha ha ha. Well, if you all survive this, I will come back, and you will see the might of my magic even more. But for now, it looks like you have your hands full. Ha ha ha." And up with a cloud of smoke, poof! The Wizard of the West was gone. And the only thing that stood there was the bronze manticore. And it came racing at Princess Witch. It was swinging its tail and trying to stab her with poison. Pew, pew, pew. And Princess Witch had her shield, though. Tink, 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 tink. She blocked all the bronze manticore's tail swipes. But just then, it lashed out with his teeth of the lion. It bit onto her sword and ripped it and flung it across the land. It was too far for her to reach. She only had her hook left. She hooked up to the side of the castle. But the manticore also had dragon wings. It flew up next to her. She again used her shield, and it had fire breath. Ah, it's so hot! She pulled out her wand and used a magic missile. It knocked the manticore down towards the ground, but it was getting up again. "I am a bronze manticore. You cannot defeat me." She kept fighting and fighting. She was using electric magic spell. And she was using fireball spells. But nothing seemed to affect the manticore other than knocking it back. It was coming back at her ferociously again. It slashed at her with its big old paw. It knocked her shield out of the way. She used a protective spell, and its pokey tail tinked off of it. Tink, tink, tink. But it was cracking. She had been using a lot of magic recently. Oh no! It broke. Just as the manticore's tail was coming down again, Princess Witch got flung out of the way at the last second. It was Atlas. He pushed her out of the way. But the tail came down and poked Atlas. Ah! He got poisoned. No! Princess Witch of the West hurried down the castle and gathered Atlas and took him to the castle hospital. And Princess Witch was very angry and upset now. And she said, "You hurt my friend. Now you will pay." The manticore just laughed. "Ha ha ha ha, and I will hurt you next." "No, that's not a nice thing to do," she said. Then she had an idea. She would freeze the manticore. So she remembered the spells from the ice castle, and she casted a wintry spell. It froze the ground around it. The manticore slipped and fell. Ah! Oh, I can't get any grip. My claws! And because he was bronze, he started slowing down. His joints started freezing over. Then she sent ice rain over him, and he froze altogether into a cube. And she said, You will go to the bottom of the sea. And she casted a bronze spell around the ice, and it locked the manticore in the ice block and around a bronze block as well. And she used the last bit of her magic to fling the box into the middle of the sea, where he sank and was never seen again. Princess Witch gathered her belongings and she ran towards the hospital inside the castle. And she was checking on Atlas, who had saved her. Atlas, Atlas, I hope you're okay. And it turned out that Atlas had casted a protective shield, or he had dropped a protective potion around his body, and although he got hit pretty hard, he did not actually get poisoned. Princess Witch and Princess Witch of the West were ecstatic, and Atlas said, I'm okay, guys. I got a pretty nasty bruise, though. And they kept him in the hospital for the night and said, we'll check on you in the morning. You get some rest, good guy. And he said, no problem, Princess. I'm glad you were able to defeat the Manticore. But what are we going to do about the Wizard of the West? He's still out there. What are we going to do? And Princess Witch of the West and Princess Witch of the East, our Princess Witch, had a lot to think about. But for now, they needed to eat some dinner, and they had to also think about things to get her home. And there might need to be an alternative method if the Wizard of the West was going to come and blow up their boat every time they built it. So it looked like it was going to be a while before Princess Witch of the East was going to make it back home. But they ate dinner nonetheless, and they started thinking of ideas as they ran up to bed and fell asleep. The end.